We are filing and publishing utility patents and getting grants for design patents. For further information, kindly visit our website www.iiiprc.com or contact us at 919962691866. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, who is going to talk us about thesis writing methodology by Dr. Simrandeep Singh, who is Associate Professor at Electronics and Communication Engineering Department at Chandigarh University. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We can start with our today's presentation. Over to you.
Thank you. So guys, today we are going to talk about the thesis writing methodology. The thesis is a very important thing whenever you are doing any academic degree or any educational graduation degree. So the thesis is all about that what you have learned through your degree or academic qualification. So professional qualification. So this is all about your research and the findings. So there we call it as a dissertation as well as thesis. So both in one is same thing. So this is basically a document that need to be submitted in order to just complete your candidature for the particular, maybe the graduation degree, master degree, or maybe the doctoral degree, or maybe the postdoctoral degree. So every time we need to submit the this document that is called thesis or dissertation. So next we're going to talk about what could be the possible parts of the proposal that we're going to submit. So the very first most thing is the title. So these are basically the all the parts of your proposal, considering title, title, abstract, introduction, background, problem statement, then your purpose, aim, a review of the literature, methodology, significance, overview of the chapters, plan of work, and bibliography. So this is a very short presentation. I'm going to let you know about all of these parts and what you should conclude and what you should include and what are the things that you need to remove from here and what could be the exercise that you need to follow and what could be the points that you should avoid while you're writing your dissertation or thesis. All these points I'm going to just share with you. The very first thing that I'm going to tell you about the your title. So title is the one thing that will just reflect whole of your degree. So title should be the having a deeper knowledge. It should not be looking witty or it should not be obscure. It should not be a enhanced things test one. So you should not use the colons, prepositions, and it should not be the boring stuff that should be included. So it should be very crisp. It should be one that you should do like it's going to reflect the whole of your idea about the presentation or maybe your dissertation. So while just going through the title, you should be clear about all these things. So this is when you're writing this is the title. So you should be very much no care about that like you are going to writing whatever you have done in your decade of your life into the one sentence. That is that much important. The next one is the abstract. The second thing is abstract. It is just a 350 100 to 350 word document that is all about the overview of your proposal. It's going to summarize the introduction part, problem statement, background, and hypothesis. What are the method that you're going to propose, and what are the different procedures, including your conclusion as well as the future aspects. All these things we need to consider in the abstract itself. Next one is your introduction and the background. So in the introduction part, you should be going to draw the boundaries. So these are the different boundaries that you need to store here. And now inside that boundary, you need to fit all the things that you have done during your research work. So you need to just put the sufficient background of the proposal or to your thesis, whatever you are doing. You need to just complete information about your study. Each and everything that we are going to describe in the rest of the thesis part, that should be initiated from the introduction part itself. So it is going to indicate the general scope of your project. And you may provide the section part also, that like that is basically the optional part. So what it means is, that is what could be the structure of your thesis, what would be there in chapter 1, what could be in chapter 2, what could be in chapter 3. So different description of your chapters you need to include here. That's optional part. If you do, that's good. If you are not going to that, so even that there's no objection of it. You just need to engage the readers. The next thing is, the third one part is like the statement problem. Problem statement is now what you are going to do, what you're going to solve, what would be the essential part of thesis, what the problem you are been facing or the society is facing. For that, you are providing the solution. That is the problem statement. So it can be a simple paragraph, or it may be into certain statements stating the like addressing the all the problems that you are going to state in your thesis. So problem statement, I now repeat again. So problem statement is nothing. It's just the problem that you are going to take up in the thesis, and then you are going to give the solution for that. Next one is, when you are going, you have formulated your problem. You are now your problem is formulated. So you're going to describe the goals. What could be the objectives of your study? So these objectives are very much crisp. So when you are defining your objectives, you need to be take care about that. So when you are going to submit your thesis, uh, you need to just give the all idea about the different objectives that you have stated here, and you need to put the explanation as well as the representation of each and every objective that you have stated here. So next, you're going to give the what will be your original contribution of your study. So what you are contributing to the society, what you are contributing to the science. A more detailed account of the points you need to summarize in the introduction part. So you need to include the rationale for the study. So be clear about that, what your study will not address. So you need not to include anything which you are not been addressing and which you are not been covering here. So next thing is again a very important part of the thesis writing, that is the review of literature. So literature is all about, so whatever the work till now have been done in your field, and you need to go through thoroughly and deeply into the literature review, so that there should not be any gap being left there. How the other scholars have been proposed, how they have been written, how they have been seen your problem, and what kind of the theories they have been proposed or they analyzed, what kind of data they have included there. That all you need to just clear about here. Then you need to connect what others have done and what you are going to do. So there should be the connection with all the larger issues, questions, practices that you need to fill it there. Next part is, you have formulated your problem and you have done your intensive literature review. So one literature review we're going to do in the start of the thesis, that will be the very brief overview. And this one is your intensive, say, review that you're doing. So once you've gone through the review part, now you have come up with what are the present approaches that have been already proposed by the researchers. Now you're going to come with your own methodology. So your own methodology is going to introduce overall methodological approach. You are going to indicate how the approach fits the overall research design. You are going to specify how you have collected the data, what are the sources of your data collection, and then you're going to analyze, interpret your results. Your results we should be interpreted in the form of statistical analysis, into the theoretical framework, into the mathematical models, or maybe you're proposing any like a pseudocode also that may include certain flow charts. And once your problem is framed, you have provided the solution. Obviously, we need to just compare your results with the other researchers. So you are going to rationalize the unfamiliar methodologies. You are going to here. You may also address your potential limitations. Then next is going to be the overview of the chapters. So likewise, I have been told in my previous slides also, like what are the objectives that you have been defining here. So all these now objectives you need to consider here in these chapters, like objective 1, objective 2, objective 3. So based upon these objectives, you are going to let the others know about what you need to do herein. Then is your you going to timeline, the plan the work. So when you have been writing starting thesis, whatever the points that should be in your mind, that you need to consult your advisor every time. You should be aware of the important dates. So important dates including what when you need to submit it, what would be how to defend the dissertation, when you're going to defend the dissertation, when you're going to apply for the synopsis, when you're going to defend your synopsis, when pre-thesis or pre-dissertation, pre-RDC, all these things you should be aware of. And one more thing that is a most important thing, guys, like you should not be overly ambitious. Be patient and just be as you. Do not be like overreact to the situations. So remember, guys, the proposed timeline demonstrate your awareness of the various elements of the study. So how you're going to approve the things, how you're going to design the things, and what will be the possible length of the experiments, what kind of negotiation that you have been stated in your study. So if you are having some, like practical work and you require certain equipment and how to purchase it and how to draft the purchase and how to approach, for purchasing all of your chemicals, maybe the equipment, maybe the devices, whatever it is, you should be just consider the timeline of, and while considering the timeline, what amount of time you will require to purchase the like particular equipment. So accordingly, you need to plan your work. And the last thing that I need to mention here is the bibliography. That is a very much, like it will come into the last but not the least, because this is what going to let you know that how you have done your literature survey. Because whenever you have been taking any information from anyone, and you are been taking your certain data set from someone, you're taking their theoretical parts. So there you need to cite them. So this is basically the IP effect, like we call it the intellectual property. So when you have been writing the a research paper, or you've been writing the thesis, that is your own intellectual property. So when we have been going to take anything from your property, so we need to cite it. So that citation is going to be mentioned in last, that's in the form of bibliography. That you should include the each and every text from where you have taken it. You need to mention it there. Like you need to, if you have been including certain experimental diagrams, if we require some kind of permissions from some external sources from where you've been accessing it, you need to take the permission letters from them. Like the authentication letters are also being required if something you have been used in your thesis part. Then like bibliography is being tend to be discipline specific. Know what the requirement are. So you should need to explain each and everything in that bibliography part. So that's all from my side, guys. Thanks for coming and thanks for joining. That's all. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs that were presented in the guest lecture.
Fine.
For receiving updates, regular updates about IFERP guest lecturers, I request everyone to kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn the notification on.